In lesson number 21, we are going to look at correct connections. The electric current will flow, the electric current will follow the path with the lowest resistance. Okay, so the electric current will follow the path with the lowest resistance to complete the circuit. When components are connected in a circuit, ensure that the current flows through all components. The positive and the negative terminals of a cell have to be connected to a low resistance wire, such as a copper wire, to complete the circuit. All components such as switches, lamps, and electric motors are connected with conductors or copper wire. Okay, so you see now, this is your battery because I've got two cells. The longer one is the positive terminal and the shorter one it's the negative terminal. So current flows from the positive terminal this way, and this is a switch. If the switch is open, it means the circuit is open, so the current cannot flow. But if you close the switch, the current can flow. Okay, so we see here we have our power source, which is the battery, and we have current coming this way, and we have our switches there. Okay, and we have our output devices, which is the bulbs. Okay, that is a closed circuit because current is flowing. Okay, and now what is short circuit? If a resistance R in the current is low, the current I will be high. If resistance is low, current will be high. They are opposite. Resistance and current are opposite. If resistance is low, current will be high. If a circuit is not connected properly and the current flows through the conducting wire without resistance, the wire will heat up. The insulation will be damaged and the electricity can jump from one wire to other, causing short circuit. Overload wires, current too high or too many connected appliances can cause short circuit. Okay, so short circuit can be caused by overloaded wires, or if the circuit is not connected properly. Okay, then we will have short circuit. Now let's look at page 177. There at the top, we are looking at the earth leakage. Each house and business in South Africa has an earth leakage in the electrical distribution board. It is a safety device that picks up a short circuit. Okay, if there is a short circuit, the current supply, which is 220 volts, immediately cuts off electricity supply to the house or business. If there is a short circuit, the current supply immediately cuts off the electricity supply to the house or business. Ensure that you know where is the earth leakage, where the earth leakage is located in the electrical distribution board. This is your distribution board. Every house has got this. Do a test at least twice annually by pressing the test switch. This is the test switch. Every distribution board has got a test switch. So you must press it at least twice a year to see if it trips the system. The earth leakage switch must switch off or fall to the bottom. This is the earth leakage. So if you press test, this will fall down. When you do this, the earth leakage switch must switch off or fall down when you do this test. To reconnect, push the switch down completely and then return it to its normal position. So you test it twice to see if you are still protected if there is a short circuit. Then we will move straight to page 179. We will move to page 179 to lesson number 22. Lesson number 22 is easy. You have already done this. Covers the electrical components, their names, their pictures, their symbol, and their use. Very important, you need to know the use. So you need to go through this table, be able to identify the electrical components, know what is the symbol, and know what is the use, and also know if it is the input device, or if it's a control device, or if it's a output device. So very important to go through this table. After lesson 22 on the electrical components, which shouldn't take you long as it is the revision, we go straight to lesson number 23 on page 180 of your textbook. And we cover the impact of bias in technology. Energy in rural and informal settlements, for example, for heating, lighting, and cooking. Many rural areas and informal settlements in South Africa do not have access to social services or infrastructure. Electricity is used to meet our basic human needs, for example, fridges and freezers to keep our food fresh, stoves and ovens for cooking food, air conditioning system to cool rooms in the summer, heaters to provide heat in the winter, telephones, cell phones and computers for communication. And many areas in South Africa were not planned and developed by municipality, which resulted in these areas not having electricity available to them. That is the bias in technology. Okay. People living in informal settlement and rural areas use the following energy sources as replacement for electricity. Since they don't have electricity, they use other energy sources as replacement. They use wood, coal, paraffin lamps and stoves, and cow dung to make fire for cooking food or for heating and lighting. They use candles. They use card boxes or old packaging can be used to keep out the cold due to the insulating properties. The solar cookers, which is a parabolic solar cooker with a shiny reflective surface that concentrates sunlight on to cooking area where the food is placed, and the food then cooks just as it would in an electric oven or stove. And they also use imbawula, which is a coal that has been heated to have holes. Okay, that is imbawula. They use it to hold the rooms. So you must know the replacements that are used by people in informal settlement as the energy source. These communities need to use alternative sustainable energy sources rather than fossil fuel energy sources like coal, oil, or gas. Solar panels or photovoltaic systems could be a solution. The government has started installing solar geysers at homes in informal settlements to provide hot water to residents. We've seen projects for installing this, but not everyone benefited on this. Okay, that was the government initiative. Electrical energy from illegal connections. Now, illegal connections to the national electricity network is theft, and it is a crime. Electricity is stolen if cables are connected illegally to an electrical distribution board, street lights, or even the neighbor's system. Electricity is stolen if electricity meters in homes are tampered with. So people, they do something that they call it bridging. These connections are not only illegal but also very, very dangerous. And then what are the ethical issues that we should have towards electricity? Illegal electricity connections are common in all layers of society. The theft of electricity results in overloading of the national electricity network, which can lead to power failures, load shedding, and the stuff. And power failures causes what decrease in productivity, because in some work areas, if there is no electricity, there is no work. and then legal users having to pay more for electricity, and legal users having to wait longer for installation of electricity at their homes. So what are the safety considerations to look at when working with electricity? Illegal connections are common cause of electrical bans that can lead to death, fire hazards in houses, and overloading of the national electricity network. Illegal connections are a safety hazard. Wires for illegal connections are connected to low overhead power lines. Children who climb trees or on roofs can accidentally touch the wires and can be shocked or bent. Removing the cover plate of a transformer and creating open connections can result in death and severe personal injuries from shocks and burns. Using incorrect and unsafe material to make these connections can lead to an electrical short circuit that can lead to accidental fires. Then let's look at equitable sharing of resources. They say here Eskom is South Africa's main electricity provider. Illegal power connections are criminal acts and cost Eskom billions of rands annually. These illegal connections have a negative impact and a great burden on the stability of a limited power supply. That is the cause of load shedding. A stable power supply affects the economy as follows. You need to know this. It is very important for the growth of the businesses. When businesses grow, more job opportunities can be created. This supports the country's economic growth. It is in everyone's best interest to protect the power supply system and use energy carefully and responsibly. And less theft of electricity will provide more funds will be available for development, electricity to poor people, especially those living in informal settlements, and will also provide a stable power supply of electricity to schools that currently have no supply.